Hello, it's golden hour, so you can kind of see by the lighting. It's perfect for right now, so I'm going to try and channel some quick messages for collective. And yeah, so some of you may enjoy some time at the park, just freestyling something, whether you sing or dance or you're skateboarding, roller skating, playing basketball, playing on the jungle gym, whatever it is. You're just gonna let your child self-play. Oh, so many cards. So this one was a little hard to get. It's like in between my seats, so it's giving someone's manifesting this. This is what you want, is equal give and take. This is kind of the ones that fell on the floor is maybe some of the struggle or something we need to learn to get to it. So we have a 5 of Wands. Oh, Bugs Bunny could be significant, or Space Jam could be significant for somebody, but that's downloads. But 5 of Wands, it's giving of resistance, because we have like the 7 of Cups is giving choice. It's giving choosing not to go against yourself. We have the Hermit and the 10 of Swords. I think some things where it feels like you were against yourself was when you sided with someone you didn't agree with, because it's like someone needs to take another look on loyalty. You need to remain loyal to yourself, and that's how connections that are worth your while or worth your loyalty is, you got to let connections go that don't align with you remaining loyal to yourself. So there's this Emperor and the 4 of Wands. I like to see that, okay? And we have a Knight of Cups and the 6 of Cups. I think there's something to do with like someone's, it's kind of giving like someone's community is not totally in check, so they're not going to come forward until everyone's on the same page as them. For example, like if you're just like, oh, check out my new girl, or like check out my new like guy or whatever, and then they're like, it's like they're not really on your side if they are going to project their opinion onto your situation, because it's like it's not your girlfriend, your boyfriend, unless secretly they want it to be, I guess. Like someone may have projected their opinion of like, if they would have rejected someone like who you're choosing, they would be like, no, you could do better. It could be your brother that said this, or someone who's like a bro, who's like trying to be like homegirl, homeboy status, and it's like they're not your homegirl or homeboy if they have an opinion about your partner. Like any kind of opinion. If they're too open with a good opinion, it's like maybe they want them. If they're too open with a bad opinion, it's like clearly you're not on my side. So it's like kind of a mixed thing. I think like someone could, this is a 8 of Pentacles card. We have a 9 of Swords and a 9 of Wands. Like there's been pain placements that were, I think, based off of someone holding back because of someone, like just people's opinions. Someone cared too much about other people's opinions, and now they're in despair for listening to other people's opinions because they realize maybe they were shallow, or they were essentially not seeing something that you were. It's like you see a deeper, more intimate part of somebody, and then someone who's just your friend outside of the connection is just going to see it very superficially on like a shallow, like they were shallow. Someone was being really shallow when it came to anything, and then someone just kind of listened to their friend's guidance, thinking that their friend meant well. It's like it's projection. They may mean well, but they don't know your heart or the other person's heart and why they're aligned. Four of Cups. Someone also could be partial to Three of Cups energy, because it may be what they're used to. So when something new came in, they weren't sure what to do with it. Kids could be significant for the connection. But you don't have to have kids. It could be, well, you could have kids, but it could be that someone is just looking for their, look at the Justice card and the Judgment reverse. Someone could be looking, that's just, oh, okay, that's super validating that like the people around them weren't on the same page here. But back to kids. Something about someone had poor judgment in the past, and maybe there is kids involved, okay? And a karmic person involved, but someone could be looking for their father or mother figure like for their kids, so that comes with a lot more weight than just someone that you want to date. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but someone could be like a Busta Rhymes. Someone could like to rap or make poetry. Let's see, what is collective needing right now? Someone recently went to McDonald's and someone likes coffee. Someone's a coffee drinker. I'm getting the letter M. For some, I'm getting the name Michael for some reason. And then I'm getting names that start with A. Could be first or last name. And a letter that starts, a name that starts with the K as well. I have the Two of Wands now. Two of Wands and a Five of Pentacles. I'm thinking Spirit's indicating that someone's going in a new direction, and leaving somebody out in the cold's more difficult than they expected, because we have Wheel of Fortune reverse and the High Priestess. They, like, intuition is quiet. When you're not in active practice of your intuition, it's far easier to listen to what your friends say, what your family says, what your ego says. And your ego can be really self-assured by the wrong things. Like, oh, I'm macho because I have a big wallet. And it's like, that doesn't make you macho, bro. We have Three of Wands. Someone could really like glitter. And the color pink could be significant for you too. We have now, okay, let me dive into this Three of Wands. It's almost like someone's waiting for divine timing. They're trusting in it because they let their ego guide them to a reverse Ten of Cups. A reverse Ten of Cups is really, it's giving toxic, okay? It's giving toxic, it's giving not what you wanted. Maybe you thought you wanted it. Maybe you fell for an illusion. Okay, and someone's letting go of whatever they manifested before. It's like old energy. Like, again, this is someone who's used to a Three of Cups. Maybe they rejected something that it was meant for them because it wasn't, they weren't used to it. Okay, friends. King of Cups reverse. Okay, there's gonna be someone who someone needs to admit their feelings, but I can't guarantee you that the person you're dealing with is going to admit these feelings. It's just that they like need to do that. They need to be more communicative for things to progress. There could be an invite to some sort of event or party or vacation so that there's a chance to interact. Like they're going to try to interact and see, like, I don't know, it just depends on where you're at with communication, because some of the collective has ghosted their person, some of the collective is just holding space for their person, some of the collective is actually talking to your person, but it's like a little off. So depending on the level of communication, someone's like trying to facilitate interactions, and that might be an invite, but that might be just like a trying to find out where you're at and crossing paths, like especially if you're local. But if you're distant, obviously that's not going to be like the same thing. Someone might just like try and plan something. But let's see if I flip. Okay, the top 3 cards was this Lover's card, the Strength, and a Page of Wands reverse. Someone had their hands on you, right? Or they had a grasp of the situation, and then they're kind of like, what did I do to, like, what can I do to move this forward? Like someone's sincerely questioning, like, what to do to move it forward. We have an Ace of Swords reverse now, and the Ten of Pentacles reverse. And there's another 4. Okay, the 4 of Wands came out again, but look at these reversals. It's like someone doesn't know how to ground this, but they so desperately want to ground this. I'm hearing it has to do with a healthy space, or a mutual space, something like this. Like, you may interpret that differently depending on where you're at, okay? Because a healthy space could be like you're not in, you know, like you separate, or a healthy space could be like you move in together. Like that's just gonna look very different for everyone dealing with this. But maybe even a place to like get out your bad feelings about your past, so that's out of your way. Because like you could be dealing with someone who has a J in their name, or you have a J in your name, okay? But it's giving like I experienced somebody who, when they were experiencing me, like they hadn't grieved their connection yet. They were still stuck and getting over something. And so anything I did, they started comparing me to the ex. Like, I'm like, why is this person talking about their ex so much? Like, I just, like, I could not work with it. There's healthy amounts of talking about your exes when it comes to dating, because, like, if they want to get to know you, they're going to have to get to know you when you were a kid, when you were a teenager, when you're an adult, when you dated this person, when you dated that person, when you dated this person, the lessons you learned. Who's your favorite this? Who's your favorite that? What do you least like? They're going to want to know everything. So there is like a healthy amount of telling your person, but there's also just like stuff that's really fucking triggering that can like probably wait, or probably just like happen when you're not still hung up or stuck on it. Like the Magician, like this, the Magician and 2 of Pentacles. Someone maybe juggled their grieving with also moving on. Like if you're grieving, you can't move on. If you move on, the grieving's just gonna come and leak all over everything. So anything else here for collective to know? these didn't show themselves to me, so I'm gonna just go for something that would be helpful for the collective, because this is maybe stuff you already know. So what can be helpful for the collective? Like, it's validating to be heard, right? Or to understand something about the situation. But like, how can the collective like really move into what they want here? Okay, there's a few cards that flipped, like the strength card as the back of the deck. So this was flipped in the middle. That was out earlier upright, so it flipped. That's good. I think we're internalizing how not to be stuck in shit that our community or our peers try and put us in. Some of our peers want what you have, you know, and it's like, so don't overshare. Like, if you have a new connection, keep it to yourself. Queen of Pentacles reverse, 9 of Wands reverse. I know what it's like to like really be in love and you just want to tell the whole world you're in love, but if it's too soon to say something, like, the people around you will sabotage it. By accident or on purpose. It's giving though, like, some of you are dealing with like secretly jealous, like hidden enemies, like people who are sabotaging you, and like they're literally throwing rocks at you and then hiding their hand as if they didn't do it. And it's like some of you are dealing with that, and it could have been like they wanted to swipe your new person. Or they were partial to your ex. Like, they really enjoyed when you and your ex were together. But then again, like, they don't know your heart and why it did or did not work out. Like, someone's... Just be careful with that, okay? Someone was dealing with that. So it's like, how do you fix that then? 3 of Cups. High Priestess. Okay, only sharing with those that have it's like, this is like celebrating, but this is also giving like being careful what you share and who you share with. Not that you're being manipulative by any means, but it's like, just like earlier about being loyal to self, the Hierophant. Some of you have friendships, family members that are not loyal to you. Like, they maybe like you're a convenience to them, but when you're not convenient, they just ditch you, something like that. And so it's like, when you become loyal to yourself, you can attract people who are on that same wavelength when it comes to you, and vice versa. Like, it's gonna be matched. It's gonna be feeling peaceful. I couldn't grasp the word, or like, it wasn't coming to my mind. And I think that's really what this is kind of the end of this reading is a little bit about, is that someone doesn't recognize peace when they haven't, because it's also something that's very quiet. Your intuition's very quiet. So sometimes your ego is really loud, the people around you are really loud, and so like it's really giving, listening to your intuition is a choice. You need to give yourself the silence to hear it, or the time to process it, I suppose. Meditation, or even spending time away from people and doing therapeutic things. Some things where you really have to just slow down and let yourself be with yourself. Some things that people consider therapeutic is reading or crochet / yarn work, whether you stitch or you knit or you crochet. Some people play music, some people will paint, some people do all the above, some people go on a walk. something where you can channel something out, but like so that you could really understand it. Even journaling could be beneficial for somebody. But it's like don't constantly be in places where you can't hear yourself think. You know, like, you got to give yourself time to think. And some of you, I think, avoid time to think because we have double nights. We have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you are really grounded in a version of you that doesn't want to exist, or like it's not beneficial for you to stay in certain energies or certain perspectives or narratives of yourself. And so like you're refusing yourself maybe an awakening, or you're refusing yourself forward movement because of refusal to process something, because maybe processing it is painful. But if you don't process it, it's gonna be like you're gonna be asking your new person to process something with you or for you, and that's not their job. That's what someone I dated was trying to do. Like, they kept comparing me to their ex because I was way better than their ex. Is like they were really triggered. Like, I triggered them to heal in a lot of ways, but they were kind of not doing the work that I deserved from them for them to deserve me, if that makes sense. And so like then they were openly like letting their fuck buddy tag them on Facebook and like share like memes back and forth openly on Facebook. Like they're basically their ex fuck buddy that didn't work out, but they wanted to quote stay friends. Like, this is giving like that all that shit was right in front of me. And like sometimes people think that making you jealous kind of strokes their ego, like, but it's toxic. Like a toxic way to feel better after being in a toxic thing. We have the Queen of Cups reversed and the Six of Wands reversed. I think someone learned real quick that that tactic doesn't work with you. It may work with other people who are insecure, but it doesn't work with someone who's confident. Someone like doesn't know what real confidence looks like, because a lot of people out here be faking their confidence. So then these cards were really annoying to pick up. Like, I really don't want to read them, so I'm not going to. Someone's just like, yeah, irrelevant. I think it's giving like insecure wannabes, like want to be your man, want to be your girl. So then they like see who they want going to somebody else, and they're like, I've been here longer, or like, I don't know, like someone was possessive in like the worst ways, but then there's also possessive in the best ways, because like the Emperor was in the reading, so it's giving like, where's the Empress? I'm hearing the Empress is, I don't chase, I attract. So I think they're waiting for their Emperor to get it together. Especially if there's like if there's kids involved and baby mama, baby daddy stuff. Maybe there's divine timing about court settling with a decision, and even finances coming into play. I'm seeing a yellow car. So the yellow lately has been like, just let it go, let it go, let go and let God. Focusing on yourself could be really important for you, because if you're asking your person to do the work to deserve you, you also have to do some mutual work to deserve them back. You know, there's a mutual lesson here. Whether you see it or not, perhaps, you know, processing, meditation could really benefit you, but someone's avoiding pain because they're afraid of their pain. They're afraid of letting go of pain, because it's the last thing that you're hanging on to when it comes to that person. But it's like, just know that holding on to a person when a new person's trying to come in is not, it's not serving you. Like, you're gonna end up having nobody. If you're still like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's like, then someone could just shut the door and you're gonna be smashed and it's gonna fucking hurt. That sounds like it hurts more than being in or outside of the room with a lock, you know? Like, it's like, I don't know if that was like the best metaphor, but I'm noticing I'm running out of time because the golden hour is moving away. Someone's definitely trying to work with like divine timing and like maybe trying to cross paths with you again. Like, they're even trying to like practice what they would say if they saw you out and about. Maybe like it's giving like someone's looking for you but not meaning to. Maybe they're looking for you in new people. Maybe they're looking for you when they go to places you've been together before. Maybe they hope that if you like the same things, you'll just sign up for the same thing and like somehow show up and be like, you know, like someone's hoping for this interaction, but they are also I'm hearing like they're praying to God that they'll be ready during that interaction too, because they don't know when it's going to happen. They just hope that the divine will lead you two together again. If the divine has separated you two, but then if the divine was part of you two meeting and then the divine separated you two, they are also trusting that the divine can bring something back. If it's meant to be, it will be. And someone's just been like looking for you. Oh my gosh, the Lovers card. You could be dealing with the Emperor and the Lovers card. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could be dealing with an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, specifically Virgo as well, a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Anything else here? I think there's some direction with, if you're looking for somebody and everybody you meet, they must have touched your heart in a way that has a lasting impression. Okay, and you could carry that with you and grow that, you know. Of course, when you meet again, you want to be better than you were last time, right? So you need to do some self-work. I know it's like, oh my gosh, more self-work, but it's like, that journey never ends. You just fall deeper and deeper in love with yourself, and that attracts people, that attracts more people. But if there's one specific person you are holding in your heart space, if they didn't think they could love you or want you more, you're gonna be like on an irresistible level. So just like keep going, because it's just like your work plus their work is what's gonna help this come together. Page of Wands and the 5 of Wands. But if you are like, I don't know, like you don't have to stress so much about, I don't know what to do to heal, I don't know what to do for myself. Just do what comes naturally. Like, don't make it so hard on yourself of like, I should be doing self-work, I should be doing self-work, self-love, blah, 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 blah. It's like, self-love is easier than you think. Like, think of enjoyment. And like, what crosses your mind when you think of that, right? And then just kind of hold discipline. Okay, make sure that your whatever it is that you're gonna enjoy isn't going to make you miserable tomorrow or in the near future, or like, you know, like make sure that it's kind of practical, because I know you want your person, right? So it's like, don't just be like, hey, and like forgetting that you were disrespected or forgetting a lesson here. Like, make sure you're staying with your lessons. We have the Devil reverse flying out, and we have the Four of Cups reverse. Okay, earlier I kept saying like something about rejecting what they wanted and needed. Now they're rejecting the part of them that made them reject what they wanted and needed, because they're like, dang, I really didn't see my wish fulfillment when it was here. It's like that peace, like someone was asking for peace but then didn't recognize it when it was around. Someone was asking for their person but then didn't recognize their person when they were around. And then shit fell apart and they're like, oh my gosh, how did I manifest that? I want things to move forward. I want to tell my feelings. I want all these things with this person. I can't. As King of Swords, they're like strengthening their voice. They're strengthening their throat chakra here. I think someone had a lot of pain placements with whenever they said something, it would cause a problem. Or whenever someone would say something, there was problems. Like, it's just like they're working on that now, where there's not so much fear or even shyness. Someone could just be really shy, okay? And so someone's trying to be on your level is what I'm hearing. Instead of knocking you down to their level, they want to rise to the occasion or like rise to meet you. Someone is kind of wanting to worship you, kind of like a worship kink or something. Someone's just, they don't want to hold back anymore. They really see how that really imbalanced everything. Like, if they wanted you, they should have just said so. If they needed you, they should have just said so. If they, like someone but then I think someone was also holding healthy space, because maybe when you met, you were in the middle of you were in the middle of something, and so like maybe they were thinking of you more than you thought, because someone just has always seen how special you are, so they never wanted to mess it up. So maybe someone was your friend, and then they, like, the longer they were your friend, they were becoming afraid of being friend zoned, so they had to start leaking a little bit of their feelings, but then leaking their feelings and then holding back made you feel like you were being played, and then you being played was like, oh, what the hell is this? And then they're like, well, what the hell am I doing? And then it's like, what the hell, like, are they ready now? Like, there was a lot of confusion, so that there must have been a conversation that was like, okay, here's where I'm at, like, why were you playing with me? And like, maybe you didn't think about how much they were thinking about your situation, and like, maybe you need to like relive the entire connection from beginning to now and see like where they're coming from maybe their perspective, because maybe you've known your perspective and how confusing it was for you, but then if you relive it for them, you'll see how confusing it was for them, and how both of you being confused made it so bad. And it's like, but you two were both trying to keep the peace while still being confused yourself, and trying not to give your confusion to the other person, but the other person was confused in a different way and trying to keep the peace. It's like, this is really cute. But at the same time, like, I think all this resistance and holding back, like, there's a tower moment, and like now there's healthy space, and now it's like trying to see, do I still want this person after all this time? Check mark, yes. Okay, when should I reapproach this? Or check mark, no. Well, then, like, do I move on? Or like, it's like someone's testing themselves here. Do I really want this person like I said I did? Do I really need this person in my life? Because a lot of self-love is like, you only need yourself, right? But shit gets lonely, and I think some of us are looking for life partners, and I'm hearing options, but I'm hearing like, just so that you can really make sure that you've got it, if that makes sense. Like, so interesting energies there. At least try and be transparent that you still have to make an ultimate decision. And like, dating around is not going, you're not going to be at fault for dating around as long as everyone knows you're dating around. You won't be at fault for being single if you just tell everyone you're single. You know, like, it's just, when you pick someone, though, you've got to tell everyone that you've picked someone, so that everyone can move on. And, you know, like, also, if you feel like it's not working out with someone, make room for your husband or wife. Like, sincerely, don't waste anybody's time by keeping someone around just in case. You know, like, that's betrayal. A very delayed one. It's like, instead of a sword, it's a needle, and you're just like stabbing them millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and times. It's better to be stabbed with the one giant sword than with millions of needles. But I think people who get tattoos might say otherwise. But you could be getting a tattoo soon. I know I am, but in divine timing, because I have bills and I'm a budget babe and I've an extortionist. So if anyone wants to help me with that, let me know. But anyway, the Hierophant keeps wanting to come out. Someone's contemplated long and hard, and someone is kind of long and hard for you, but you're someone's wish fulfillment, and they're trying to figure out how to come forward with some sort of commitment or some sort of offer to get closer to commitment. Maybe they don't really know you enough to know. And so they want to get to know you. They want quality time. They want to cross paths with you, make those interactions. They want to make sure that they're ready. Someone's like, oh my God, make sure I'm ready. 4 Wands. If they're not ready, like, someone needs to be careful not to rush things, because that's when things feel unprepared. That's when things are unprepared. That's when things fall apart, because there wasn't a stable foundation. Someone can't rush things, can't rush perfection, right? So, King of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. It's almost like this King of Pentacles is willing to defend you, where maybe in the past they didn't, or like a situation where they should have defended you, or where they didn't expect to have to defend you around their friends or something like that. I resonate with this so well too. It's like, outside of Target, there was someone there was just like a mom and her kid, and they were, I wouldn't say they were viciously staring, but it was this person's first encounter with like people who might give me a weird look, and they're like, I'm used to the weird looks. I kind of just whoop, because I'm not looking for it anymore. But this person saw it and defended me, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is like, that's an energy I never felt before. I even told them that, like, hey, that was very profound for me. Like I felt like I could fall in love with that person because of that energy alone. But then they had another experience where they had to do it, and it was around their friends, and they fucking failed because they chose their shitty ass friends over me. Someone's like in regret for that, but it's giving like, yeah, that situation, they hate that they failed you because of how special you are. And I think they really showed it, the situation really showed them how to be stronger or be different next time. Like maybe they didn't know how important something was for you until they already messed it up. So now it's this holding space to like change. Change is not something that we witness with our own eyes. It happens internally or over time. It happens maybe because there was something that was like immaturely handled. They had to grow up, and like maybe they rejected growing up or having to learn something, and then you're like, well, you don't learn this, you don't get to be around me. Like, this is something, you know, someone underestimated how important it was for you. Yeah, someone was prioritizing the wrong things. They might have even prioritized their dickhead over their own like crown chakra. But that's, I don't want to like further disappoint the collective. Maybe just you feel more heard and you feel like, okay, if that's what they're doing, then you're more at peace with the separation if they're just trying to do better next time. But hopefully you actually see them do better next time. You know what I'm saying? We have 8 of Pentacles and an 8 of Swords. So yeah, someone's releasing and working on themselves instead of holding on to anything. I like that. I like seeing those 2 8s. Okay, 8 8. Those numbers could be significant, but also just someone who's healing, they are going to experience more of their old energy so that they can recognize it and be like, oh, okay, that has to go. Oh, okay, this has to go. Oh, okay, this has to go. Okay, this has to go. And that comes with more pain. Someone was holding on to pain, and it's like, then you get triggered by all the pain, so you could finally let it go. And it's like someone just made a mess of holding on to things. It's like when you let a kid play and they get something from the toy box and then they play with it, they don't put it back. And then they move on to another toy and they play with it and they don't put it back. And they move on to more toys and they play with it and they don't put it back. And then it's like there's a huge mess now. So the next time you want to play with something, you know, on the next day, you can't just simply play. You know, it's like kind of like that. So someone's cleaning up the mess. They have to do all this grief work. It's going to kick their ass because they're going to be sad. They're going to be upset. They're going to be depressed. They're going to be anxious. They're going to be frustrated. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to have to be okay without this friend. They're gonna have to be okay without this family member. They're gonna have to be okay without this job or without this situation. They're gonna have to be okay with a lot of things fucking falling apart because of the mess that was left, right? It's like if you leave a big old mess and then you try and like play in the room, you might step on all your toys, you might break all your toys, you might like, it's someone's but that's the reading, my friends. I'm gonna go because it's getting dark and sketch for someone who's like me, and like, yeah, I need to go home. So bye.